Greetings, students of the world. In this video, I'm going to look at English language requirements for study in the UK and talk about the different options that you have available to you to show your knowledge of the English language without necessarily taking an IELTS test. Hello again, Jack here from Cardiff Met International to talk about all things English language when thinking about coming to study in the UK. Now, wherever you are with your research into coming to study at a university in the UK, I would say it's safe to say that you're aware that you'll need a certain level of English to study here. The majority of university courses in the UK are taught in English, so you will need to be able to demonstrate your level of English language. I'd also say there's a good chance you've heard of the IELTS test, the most widely used and recognised test to demonstrate English language ability. However, with all of the requirements, preparations and costs involved in coming to study in the UK, I understand that you don't necessarily want to have to take another test unless you really have to. So in this video, I'll be talking about some of the other options that you have available to you alongside an introduction to English language requirements for UK universities. I'll be talking about general English language requirements for study in the UK. However, some examples will be specific to Cardiff Metropolitan University, so I'll make sure I make this clear throughout. If this is your first time watching a Cardiff Met International UK study video, I'll make sure I'll point you towards some other useful content towards the end of the video. Now, I'm going to break this video down into two sections. Firstly, the level of English language you will require and why you will need it, followed by the different ways you can demonstrate your level of English to a UK university, and in some cases, why you might not need to. If you want to skip the first section and learn more about qualifications and exemptions, you can look at the timestamp shortcuts below in the description and go straight to the section that is relevant to you. I won't be offended. So, why do you need to show your level of English when you apply to a UK university as an international student? Almost all courses in the UK are delivered in English. You need to have a sufficient level of English to be able to complete your course. You need to be able to take part in classes and discussions and to submit assessments, such as coursework and exams. This is why the English language requirement of your course is part of the academic requirement. However, as well as being part of the academic requirement, your English language level is also part of your visa requirement. The UK government requires that when you apply for a Tier 4 student visa, the university that you are going to be studying at has checked your level of English language. They will ask the university to confirm this as part of supporting your visa. But what level of English language do you actually need to have, and how is it measured? UK universities use a system called the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, or CEFR. This framework is a guideline used to describe language proficiency. For the sake of study in the UK, all you need to know is that in most cases, the required level for study at degree level is upper intermediate, referred to as B2 level. Having an English language level of B2 means you can do the following. Can understand the main ideas of complex text on both concrete and abstract topics, including technical discussions in your field of specialisation. Can interact with a degree of fluency and spontaneity that makes regular interaction with native speakers quite possible without strain for either party. Can produce clear, detailed text on a wide range of subjects and explain a viewpoint on a topical issue, giving the advantages and disadvantages of various options. Your university will need evidence that you have this level of English in 4 key areas: reading, writing, listening and speaking. However, what it really comes down to is that your level of English is good enough for the course that you have applied to, which seems sensible to me. It's worth noting at this point that if you are planning on studying at below degree level, for example, an international foundation programme, the required level of English will be a slightly lower intermediate level referred to as B1. There are slightly different rules around demonstrating B1 level, which I'll mention in the next section. So, now that you know roughly the level of English you require and why you need it, how can you evidence your level of English to the university you are applying for? In this section, I'm going to look at common English language tests, different high school qualifications, exemptions, and finally, a few other options that may be relevant to some international students. Your first option is a secure English language test, or a CELT. A secure English language test is a test which is approved by the UK government as well as UK universities. If you are applying for an international foundation programme or below degree level, this is your only option to demonstrate your B1 level of English. The most common CELT is the IELTS test. The majority of both undergraduate and postgraduate courses at Cardiff Met require an overall IELTS score of 6.0 with at least 5.5 in reading, writing, speaking and listening. You must have achieved this IELTS score no more than 2 years before starting at university. A small number of courses at Cardiff Met may require a slightly higher IELTS score. In fact, every university will have a slightly different score requirement, so it's best to check before you start preparing if you're planning on taking an IELTS test. If you are taking an IELTS test for an international foundation programme to show that B1 level of English, you'll need to make sure that you sign up to take the UKVI IELTS test. Another CELT option is the Trinity College London ISE Level 3. However, this test is currently only available to take here in the UK. There are several other English language courses that may be accepted by UK universities for degree level study. This includes the Pearson's PTE, Cambridge English C1 Advanced and the TOEFL. I'll include a link in the description to more information about the required score for each of these tests. Cardiff Met also offers its own English language test in some countries called the GETS test. Again, I'll link to more information about the GETS tests in the information below. Next up is high school qualifications. A number of education systems across the world are either taught in English or have English language as a subject. Many UK universities will accept these qualifications as evidence of your English language level. If you are using your high school qualification as your English language evidence, you may also be asked to have an English language interview with the university you are applying to. This is just to check that you have the right level of English when it comes to speaking and listening. These tend to be informal interviews conducted over the phone or by video chat. If you need such an interview, the university that you are applying to will let you know. At Cardiff Metropolitan University, we will include this on your offer letter. Right. It's time to list some of the main examples of high school qualifications that may be accepted. Students from India can use their 12th certificate. At Cardiff Met, we require 65% or above in English. If your English score was given out of 200, we'll convert this to a percentage. Students from a number of African countries can use their English score from their high school certificate. For the West African WIAC, Botswana, Kenya, Uganda and Zimbabwe, a grade C or above is required. For South Africa or Zambia, it's 5 or above. Students from Malaysia can use their SPM 1119 with a grade C or above. Students from Hong Kong can use a HKDSE English score of 4 or above. Students from many countries that have studied an English GCSE, IGCSE or O-level with C or above can use this to show their English language level. A US high school diploma with advanced placement studied outside of the US may also be accepted in some cases. Next up is a few exemptions. If you can evidence that you meet any of the following criteria, you will not have to provide any further English language evidence. You have already successfully obtained an academic qualification from a UK university which is a bachelor's degree or above. You are a national of one of the following English-speaking countries or have studied an undergraduate or postgraduate degree there: Australia, Ireland, New Zealand, United States of America, English-speaking Canada, and a number of Caribbean countries. I'll put a full list in the description below. Lastly, you are already a UK passport holder. This makes life really easy. So finally, what if you don't quite have the required level of English when it comes to making your application? You may be able to take a pre-sessional English course. We offer several of these at Cardiff Metropolitan University. These courses are designed to lead into an academic course at the university and get your English up to the required level. I'll be making another video about English language courses in the future, so make sure you keep an eye out if it's of interest. There we have it. If you've stuck with me through this video, I'm hopeful that you'll have a good understanding of English language requirements for study in the UK. Also, you should hopefully have an idea of the best option for you. If it has been useful, please do give me a like so that I know that it's been helpful. If you are looking for study options in the UK, make sure that you watch my videos about Cardiff Metropolitan University, and also make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can find out when I release more videos full of tips, advice and guidance for coming to study in the UK. And as always, if you have any questions, comments or suggestions, please just let me know in the comments below. But for now, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll welcome you to Cardiff Met one day soon. Bye bye.